Hi, I'm Jerry James Stone and I'm super excited about today's video. It's really festive and fun, great for Halloween. Now, Halloween is one of my favorite holidays, but typically Halloween means lots and lots of sugar. So I'm excited because this is completely the opposite of that. This is actually a fun, festive recipe that's on the savory side of things. Let me show you how to make it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is make our cheese sauce. You want that ready for once the pasta is done cooking so you can mix that all together and then stuff the bell peppers. So let's get to making the cheese sauce. So that starts out with making a roux. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to melt some butter in a nice deep saute pan. And then we're going to take flour, equal parts butter, equal parts flour, and sift that flour into the butter. The advantage of doing this, of creating the roux to thicken the sauce, is by putting that flour into a fat and sort of getting that all combined before you add the liquid, which is the milk, is that you get a nice, even, thickened sauce with no lumps. Okay, so we have our roux ready. The next thing to do is to add in the milk. Just go ahead and add in. I prefer using whole milk. You can use whatever you want. I feel like if you're gonna eat mac and cheese, you might as well go like balls to the wall and just go out and do it, right? So you wanna add the milk slowly to the roux and whisk that while you're doing it, just to make sure that you get a nice even consistency with the liquid. Once the milk is worked in, we want to bring that mixture to a boil, just like a low simmer actually. The reason you're doing that is you want to cook it for a couple minutes in order to get that flour cooked. If you don't do that, the sauce isn't going to thicken, but also it's going to taste kind of doughy from the flour being uncooked. So this is really important, just to bring it to a low simmer. But while you're doing that, you want to keep whisking it because you don't want to burn the mixture at all. Once it cooks for a couple minutes, then we're going to start adding in our cheese. I'm adding in cheddar cheese here. You can use whatever mixture that you want, but I just find this to be a really classic flavor, so I'm using shredded cheddar. This is really important though. Before you do that first step of adding in the cheese, you want to turn off the heat and actually remove the milk mixture in that pan, remove it from the heat. The reason that you're doing that is if you actually have heat, high heat, any heat really, with the mixture, then as you add in the cheese, you risk the chance of that cheese breaking. And the last thing you want to do is have your sauce break. When that happens, you're going to have a mix of cheese fats, cheese solids, fat, liquid. It's just going to be a whole mess, and there's really no way to really save it once it breaks. So you want to take it off of the heat and slowly work that cheese into the sauce so that way it incorporates, but it doesn't get overwhelmed. Okay, so our cheese sauce is ready. Now we're actually going to make the pasta. So you want to bring that pasta to a boil. And hey, by the way, I have a video on how to cook the perfect pasta, so be sure to check that out. But I'll tell you right now, just a few of the key points. One, you want to make sure that you salt that water. So bring the water to a boil and salt it a lot. It should be like seawater. And you want to salt it after it's boiling, because if you are using like a stainless steel pan, like I am, if you salt it before the water boils, you risk actually damaging the pan. Once it comes to a boil, salt the water, throw the pasta in, cook it per the instructions, but don't rinse it once it's ready. Actually take that pasta and scoop it out with like a strainer and transfer it directly into the cheese sauce. The reason you do that is the starches from that liquid that are actually around the pasta helps just make the sauce a lot creamier. We're already working with a pretty creamy sauce anyway because it's cheese and milk, but this will actually add to it. So we have our cheese sauce, we have our pasta, it's all mixed together. Now it's time to actually stuff those bell peppers. Super simple, cut off the tops, scoop out the seeds. So we prepped our peppers, cut off the top, scooped out the seeds. Now we need to carve them. I'm just gonna say this right now, I suck at carving jack-o'-lanterns, and I'm even worse at carving bell peppers. But if you're great at carving jack-o'-lanterns, then you're probably gonna make really beautiful Halloween stuffed bell peppers. If you're not, they might kind of look like mine, but the one thing that's cool is, you know what, the worse they look, it's Halloween, right? It's supposed to be scary, like, it's all right. So now we're gonna get to like carving our bell pepper. Like I said, I'm really bad at this, but you're not here for carving lessons, you're just here for recipes, right? So I'm just doing a simple jack-o'-lantern shape here. That's it. Okay, see, there you go. Simple jack-o'-lantern. I'm sure you could do better. If you do, share your photos. I want to see them because this is not my strong suit. Okay, so I'm gonna carve the rest of the peppers and then we just actually have to stuff them with the mac and cheese. Okay, so we're just gonna fill them with mac and cheese. The thing that's kind of fun about this, depending on the size of the carvings that you make in your bell peppers, the cheese oozes out the face. So it's really fun and kind of scary and I don't know, a really great festive Halloween recipe. And I think it's nice just to have something that's not on the sweet side. You should also check out some of my other Halloween recipes, by the way. I have these really kind of spooky spider devil eggs where we use olives to like make it look like spiders on top of the devil eggs. Fun stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna finish stuffing the bell peppers with the mac and cheese, and then we're gonna bake them at 400 degrees for about 15 minutes, just enough to get the actual bell peppers just to like soften and cook and roast it because the mac and cheese is already cooked. So let's go ahead and do that next. Okay, so we baked the jack-o'-lantern peppers, Halloween stuffed peppers. I don't know, you let me know what you think they should be called. We baked them for about 15 minutes at 400 degrees, just enough to get the peppers to roast and to wilt a little bit and to get that cheese just kind of oozing out through them. It smells so good. I think you're really gonna like them. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to plate them without burning myself, just so you can see the faces. With all the cheese melting out the face, it's just a really nice effect. So I think you're really gonna like this recipe. Like I said, it's really festive and fun. If you're looking for something for Halloween, but on the savory side and not sweet, check this one out. Let me know if you try it. If you like my video, hey, give me a thumbs up. And if there's something that you wanna see, drop a comment below. I release new videos every single week, so if you like to cook like I do, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Happy Halloween.